Hello, everyone! It's a new day and I'm not, like, mega stoned anymore, which means that either you just watched, the intro to this fucking episode, or we used the footage somehow, because I got really high last night and it was super fun, but, like, I wasn't, available for most of that recording. So, fuck it. This either turned out really well or it didn't. One thing I do remember, I talked about last night that I have autism. And that's a weird thing to bring up, but I only found out that I had it recently. Because, I have a friend named Ursa Minor, who I chat with a bunch. And, he told me that me having ADD, which I was aware of, puts me on the spectrum. And after doing some digging, I guess, I am. And that explains a lot, and I know a lot more about myself, and I know why I am the way I am to some extent. Because, like, growing up with ADHD, I never learned anything about this because my therapist was, an asshole. And she refused to talk to me about it. And my mom refused to let me find out anything about it. But now that I'm an adult, I can work really hard and eventually I can start as if I'd just gotten out of high school. It might take me a few more years, but I'll be there soon, hopefully. I'm pretty cool today. I have D&D, actually, at 6:30, so I've got a few hours. So that's good. But staying up late, that's gonna fuck up my sleep schedule, but who cares? Like, I legitimately had a thing happen yesterday where I was, I looked at the clock and I was like, okay, it's 6. That means that if I start settling down and unwinding now, I can fall asleep before 3 days pass. And so I did, and I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning and I was refreshed and it was like, holy fuck, I used to do this all the time, what happened? And, it was a really weird instance of just having a nostalgic feeling about waking up in the morning. It was very fun and enjoyable. And I did have a couple edibles, so in an hour, I'll see you then, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man. This is actually a level that I always thought about when I was starting to get into game design. I was like, man, I want to make a game that's basically like Kirby, because that seems like a pretty easy thing to do. And I definitely had my sights set a little too high. The first game that I ever finished was Tic-Tac-Toe, and it didn't even, like, measure whether or not someone had won yet. Like, it was just, you know, you had to keep score on the honor system, essentially. If someone got 3 in a row, they would just deliberately end the game. Like, it was just a tic-tac-toe board, the first person who clicked would get an X, the second person would get an O, etc. And there was no, like, you win anything. It was seriously like one of those old-ass Atari consoles, where, like, you actually have to fucking set the score because there's a little slider on the console. Oh, it was primitive, and I haven't gotten that much better since then, which is unfortunate. But it's fine, because I'm playing KIRBY right now, and it's my favorite game. You know, here's a complaint, this boss doesn't do anything. He just kinda takes a while, and the game is lagging and shit, and I think that did happen when I was a kid too, like, on console. Because don't tell nobody. I'm emulating the game, because I don't want to go look for my SNES. Yeah, I think one of the reasons why I've always played this game so much though, like for real, is just like, every computer that I've ever had in my life, from my mom's Windows 98 when I was a child, to this beast right now, is that I've always had Kirby on it. It's always been on my computers. It's the one game I can always play even after the world ends. And it has. Fuck my life, I'm tired of being me. Oh, it's fine, there's like 13 birds here, there's a big flower, Knucker Joe is on the horizon, Singing Man is fucking going up. Great. Ah, fine, fantastic. Oh, I did have a story I wanted to tell. So, like, I said this in the last episode, maybe it didn't make it in. I made some porn for my boyfriend, because it's our anniversary. And, so when I do the, when I want to send something over Discord, it has to be 8 megabytes maximum. And that means that I need to fucking degrade the shit out of the videos that I'm making to send them over Discord. And when I, render things at, like, a really low quality, they can be anywhere between, like, 7 megabytes and 700 megabytes, and I don't know why. And so I had to just keep re-fucking rendering this video. I got it so garbled as shit that it literally took less time to render than it does to watch, and it was anywhere between nearly a gig and nearly nothing at all, and I don't know why. But I did get to send my boyfriend porn, so it's fine. No, I won't be showing you the porn, by the way, it's personal, it has my cock in it. But it's fine, my cock is the best cock. There are few cocks that can stand up to mine, I think. Oh, I love these little apple riding dudes. I always like to, if you eat them off, I think that makes it so that, like, the apple just rolls away, and it just sits there and chills forever. The world's most chill apple? Let me see if I- hold on. Let me just get rid of you. Okay, great. Yeah! Get him! Get him!
Get him! Hit him with your umbrella! Get him! Hit him, player 2! Get him! Get him! Get his legs! Splash water on his kneecaps!
Good job, you get to be Hammer Guy now. Now you get to not exist. God, what could be worse than that? It's like he didn't just die, he got fucking erased. He got turned into an inanimate object that stops being real after a while. It's disgusting and horrid, and I kinda like it. It makes me very horny. I kind of want to get transformed into a hammer that stops existing, and then someone can post about it on DeviantArt. Fucking speaking of, I follow a DeviantArt, not DeviantArt profile, a fucking Twitter account that's called Bad DeviantArt Art, and it's all the, like, weird porny shit that people do, like people getting turned into balloons and shit, or like getting taped to the bottoms of Sonic's feet. And there was this, like, there's this weird trend where people will take, like, the upper half of a character from a cartoon, like just a picture of Lois Griffin or whatever, and they'll just, like, draw, like, they'll remove the top half and they'll just draw their own legs that are always, like, feet that curve towards you. Like, Raymond, find it. It's not that hard to find. There's just a lot of exactly that, and I don't know why, like, that must be just one person, I swear to gosh. Also, I was watching this dude on DeviantArt, not DeviantArt, fuck, on YouTube, who was talking about DeviantArt, and he was, like, making fun of cringe people, which I think is mean, and I don't support it, but there was this one guy who was just, like, commenting on everyone's weird Sonic diaper pictures, where he's just role-playing as Tails. Like, he'll just drop a comment saying a thing, and no one responds, but he's on all of the fucking pictures. How much time does that take? It's so weird. Who just, like, says, I've got an afternoon, I can do it, and they go to every, like, Sonic diaper porn picture on DeviantArt and just pretend to be Tails. Like, I legitimately think, because I don't really like to judge people, like, even if I'm making fun of shit, I'm just like, he could be a good guy with, like, a weird hobby or whatever. But I legitimately think that must be a form of psychosis. That's so strange. Ah. Speaking of not wanting to judge people, I went to an adult diaper store recently because they have one in my city, because I live in Vegas, which is like a really big city with a lot of things. And I was hanging out there, and because I wanted to, like, get a thing for the porn I was making for my boyfriend. And, I was just in this room alone while the store owner was in a different room, and when he walked in I said, hey, I'm not stealing. And then he, like, made a joke like, well, my camera would get you if you did, so that's fine. And I said, like, not to be judgmental or anything, but who would steal from this store? And he was just like, we've had, like, 2 thefts in the 4 years I've worked here. And it's like, holy fuck, he's had a half of a theft per year. Like, that's pretty remarkable. Then he started talking about, like, the history of, like, the adult baby scene in the world, and how it basically didn't exist in the 90s, but he pioneered a bunch of shit. He made plastic pants. No, he commissioned a company that makes the, like, adult plastic pants, which I didn't know existed, with a print that's used for children's ones, and it ended up taking off. I just, like, met weird people. I guess that's the crux of my story, but I had a lot of fun. They're, like, super down to earth, which is, like, almost universal for, like, weird people. They're, like, people who are into weird shit. Like, you talk to juggalos, and it's like, sure, they do weird shit, but you hang out and talk to them, and they're just, like, dudes with, like, jobs and kids. Like, it's so weird how it turns around like that almost all the time. I haven't actually, like, spoken to, like, a juggalo in a very long time, though, so maybe things are different. I know that Super Hummin's a juggalo because he says whoop whoop. And he also does backyard wrestling on YouTube, so I guess that's also a thing. Which had a video game that had ICP in it. God. Yeah, Raymond, end this episode with, like, a clip from one of the cutscenes in that game.
totally harsh as mellow for shizzle.